Hi guys, so today I'm going to be going over a bunch of different types of knit fabric. I'm going to be going over their stretch and drape and recovery, as well as what kinds of garments each type of fabric is best for. Now I'm not going over every kind of knit fabric, but I am going over all of the main ones that we sell on our website at So English Fabrics, and I will link their website below as well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chey. I do work for So English Fabrics. So I have a lot of different types of knits today, and I hope that this helps some of you who are more visual. That way you can see how a fabric moves as opposed to it just stagnant on a screen. This could also help some of you who order mystery boxes from us. If you're not familiar with knits or certain types of knits even, this might help you identify what you got in your mystery box. So first I have French terry. I love French terry. This is a poly rayon spandex French terry. It's really smooth and soft on one side. It kind of feels like a t-shirt material, but it's thicker. And then on the back here, it has these really small loops. They're really soft though, so it's not like there's something that like catches on anything or it's gonna rub your skin funny. They're super, super soft. So our French terry is a medium weight. It's a 4-way stretch, so you can see that you've got vertical stretch and you've some horizontal stretch here. It's really great for lightweight hoodies, joggers, palazzo pants, tops, especially long sleeve tops. They'll help keep you a little bit warmer. And recently I've actually seen a lot of people making some winter sort of dresses out of it, and it looks really good. So it's good for a lot of different projects. This one, by the way, happens to be a brand new French terry that we have at So English. It's still available on the website right now. And it is CPSC compliant. So for those of you who sell items that you make, if you have a boutique or a shop, this is one of those non-exempt fabrics that does need the certification, which we have, and we're one of the few places that has compliant fabrics right now. So next we have brushed poly. This is one of my all-time favorite fabrics. Most of the brushed poly at So English Fabrics is CPSC compliant, by the way. It's another one of those non-exempt fabrics that you need the certification for, which we have on our website. So you can either have double brushed or single brushed poly. And the difference in that is that both sides of the fabric, like this one, are brushed versus only one side are brushed. Now the side that isn't brushed is still super soft, but the single brushed is a little bit more slinky and silky feeling than the double brushed. They both still have really great stretch and drape, and they move really easily, but they just have a little bit of a difference to them. Okay, so what do we mean by brushed? Brushed poly has a napped surface to it, so it's kind of texturized and sort of fuzzy feeling. It kind of reminds me of how flannel has that fuzzy sort of feeling when you run your hand across it, except it's like a million times softer than flannel is. It's kind of like peach fuzz or baby kittens or anything else you can think of that's just incredibly soft and just luxurious feeling. That's how brushed poly feels. Personally, I love them both. I use them both for absolutely everything. Most people use double brushed poly to make leggings because this is the type of fabric that LuLaRoe uses to make their leggings. I personally do everything with this. I make leggings, shirts. The shirt I'm wearing right now, by the way, is double brushed poly too. I have a couple of robes in this and nightgowns. I love doing dresses with this too, so it's really good for just about any project. Now all of our brushed poly is 96.4 poly spandex. Now that matters because most leggings patterns will call for 95.5, so it's a percentage short on that stretch percentage. So it has amazing stretch, like it's awesome, but just because it stretches this much doesn't mean that it should be like prolonged to be stretched like this. So if it's overstretched, if you're wearing leggings or something that are a size too small and it's overstretched like that, if you brush up against something rough or even just with prolonged wear, it can start to wear little tiny holes where threads start to break or where they get caught on things. So Keep that in mind when you're making your legging patterns, that this has the percentage less on the stretch, and you shouldn't have any problems if you go by your size measurements. So I wear my brushed poly leggings all the time around the house. I sleep in them, I go out in them. The only time that I've personally had a problem with holes was when I accidentally grabbed my sister's pattern. She's a size smaller than me anyway, and I did start to develop holes after a couple of wears. So that does matter, that you make sure that you're making your correct size. One other thing I will say about leggings patterns is that they're not like a one size fits all thing. There's a bunch of different patterns out there because they all fit different body types differently. So just the same way where you might be a size medium in a certain brand, if you're going by a size medium in another brand, it might fit you just a little bit differently. So there's a lot of leggings patterns out there, so just find one that's really good for you and for your body type, and try out a few different ones and see what works best for you. So this is Rayon Spandex. I love that this stuff doesn't wrinkle, so when I pull a shirt that I made out of the laundry basket because I didn't fold anything, this still looks really good, straight out of my laundry. It has awesome drape to it. It makes really good shirts and dresses. It kind of feels like thin t-shirt material. It's 4-way stretch, so you've got really good horizontal stretch, and then you've got really good vertical stretch on it as well. Now, one downside to Rayon Spandex is that it doesn't quite have the recovery that other fabrics do. So if you have a long dress in this, like a maxi dress, over the course of the day, it will weigh itself down just a little bit. But the good news is that once you wash it and dry it, it goes right back to where it was. One other downside to Rayon Spandex is that it does pill over time, but this is true even of store-bought clothing that's made with Rayon Spandex. Over time, with wear and with washes, it's the nature of the fabric for it to pill a little bit. You can prolong its life though by washing the garment that you make inside out on cold. Don't wash it with anything abrasive like towels or jeans, things that can like rub on it extra, and then dry it on cold. But it's gorgeous fabric, it really is. I love this one in particular. Okay, so next we have Modal. This is another one of my all-time favorite fabrics. Modal is a semi-synthetic fabric that's a mix of cotton and a type of rayon. It's actually made from beech tree fibers, so it's incredibly soft. And I noticed that this doesn't pill as easily as Rayon Spandex does. It lasts a lot longer. Now it is 4-way stretch, so you'll notice that you've got some stretch for both directions. It's got really great stretch that way. Now this is awesome for tops and dresses. If any of you are familiar with the Gap body line, a bunch of the garments in that line are made with Modal. I also have a few tops from Victoria's Secret that are Modal, and they're so soft, and I really love that. So you'll see that this has some really great drape to it as well. It breathes really, really well, so it makes really good garments for summer especially. So this is our cotton style jersey. It's a poly spandex blend. It feels a lot like cotton though. To me it kind of feels like a really thick rayon spandex, but it has better recovery. So it's really good for dresses, tops, skirts, that kind of thing. It is also 4-way stretch, so you can see that it has pretty good stretch to it. It makes lovely tops. It's thicker than rayon spandex, but it's not too thick that it doesn't have really pretty drape to it. Okay, so this is cotton spandex or cotton lycra. They're the same thing, by the way. Lycra is just a brand name of spandex. So when you're shopping online, you can see that they're actually the same thing. It's a bit heavier, but it has really great 4-way stretch to it, and it has really good recovery. It's good for just about any project. It makes great leggings. It's awesome for tops and dresses. A lot of people use this for kids clothing because it holds up really well, and it has that really good recovery that kids need with moving all of the time. Similar to this is our cotton lycra interlock. Interlock is typically 100% cotton, and it has very little to no stretch to it, but this has a little bit of spandex to it. So it has some stretch, it has good recovery, And so it holds up really well. And this is something that I use to make my daughter a lot of clothing. So you've got amazing stretch to this. It's pretty limited on the 4-way. It has really great 2-way stretch. And it has probably 20% as far as vertical stretch. So it still has really good stretch for garments, especially for kids. It drapes really nicely, so it makes good dresses. Okay, so now we are into sweater knits. These are both poly spandex blends. You'd be surprised how much polyester you wear. This is a regular sweater knit. It's usually 2-way stretch. So you've got really good stretch this way and almost no stretch at all this way. But it makes really good cardigans and long sleeve tops, sweaters, infinity scarves. I've seen a couple of people recently using sweater knits to make dresses, and I think they look really pretty because they have some really nice drape to them. So they lay really well, and I think they're just gorgeous. So this is brushed Hacci Sweater Knit. Now Hacci just means that your loops are bigger than typical sweater knit. And the brushed part of that is just like brushed poly, where it's napped a little bit, so it gives it that really soft, fuzzy sort of feeling. But just because the loops are bigger doesn't mean that it's see-through. So it makes really good cardigans and tops and sweaters, again, scarves that would be really soft and cozy, and this stuff is just the best, especially for me recently because I'm in the Midwest right now and it is just freezing cold. Okay, so now we're into double knits. You've got Liverpool, Scuba, and Ponte. They're all structured knits. They're usually a poly spandex blend, but Ponte is sometimes a combination of rayon polyester and spandex. So first you've got Liverpool. This is pretty thick. Now one side of Liverpool is textured and usually the back side is smooth. The textured side kind of reminds me of crepe, so you can see that it has some texture to it, but it's still really soft. This and Scuba both make really great pencil skirts or peplum tops or dresses, and since they're heavier, they make skirts, like if you have a loose skirt, they make them look a little bit fuller. So you can see Liverpool has some really pretty drape to it. Scuba is smooth on both sides, and it's thicker, but it still has some really pretty drape to it. So you can see that it's smooth on both sides. Okay, so then you have Ponte. It makes really pretty dresses and pants, like dress pants. I wouldn't use it for leggings because of how thick it is, but this is another one because it has rayon in it. It tends to pill over time, but again, you can prolong its life by washing it inside out, drying it on low, and make sure you don't wash it with anything abrasive. But it has 2-way stretch and it lays really well. So see, it has like no vertical stretch to it at all. But I actually used this to make mine and my daughter's Christmas dresses. This like faux Amelia sort of LuLaRoe looking like dress for the both of us. Okay, so this is ITY. It stands for Interlock Twist Yarn, which doesn't mean a whole lot to me personally, but that's what it stands for. It's really soft. It's like a slinky, silky feeling knit. It has this beautiful drape to it and like kind of a bounce, which I think is really pretty. It makes amazing tops and dresses, and it looks a little bit dressier than regular knit fabric does, so I think it looks kind of professional. Some ITY is a little bit thin, but if you wear like a slip or something under your dress, then it's really not a big deal, and it's just so gorgeous. I really love working with this stuff. So this is micro suede. It feels just like suede, but it has really great stretch to it. It lays really nicely, and it has this awesome stretch. So it's a little bit different than normal suede. It's 2-way stretch. I made a blazer with this that's super comfortable because it moves really well with me. You can also use this for pants or a pencil skirt. Recently I saw someone who made, it was kind of like a pencil skirt, but it had this little flare of a flutter at the bottom, and it was really, really pretty. And it was in this micro suede stuff, so it just looked really gorgeous. So these are your swim and athletic knits. They're a little bit slippery to work with, but they're really not too bad. They're usually a poly spandex or a poly nylon spandex blend. And if there's nylon, or the more nylon that there is, it's going to give you a stiffer kind of stretch. They all still have great four-way stretch to them. So this is a swim knit, great for making swimsuits or dance wear. This one I love and I can't wait to use it, but it's freezing here, so it's going to be a while before I can make a swimsuit. But you can see that it's got really great four-way stretch, and this one's just so pretty. This is a performance knit. Again, it has a really great four-way stretch to it. It's meant to move with you when you're working out. So again, it makes really good workout clothes or dance wear. That it's super comfortable and really soft to wear. Now this is power mesh. So if you make bras for yourself, or if you make a sports bra or something and you need just a little bit of extra support than the fabric is giving you, you can line it or use a layer of this in between two layers of your fabric to give you some extra support. So because it's a mesh, it's really thin, it's not going to be bulky. As you can see, it's see-through. And it has some good stretch to it, but it won't have quite as much stretch as your poly nylon fabrics, which is what's giving you that support. So that's really helpful to have. And then last we have performance fleece. So the outer side of this looks like your performance fabrics. It's your poly spandex blend, and it looks really nice. And then your inside is fleece. It's super soft, and it has some decent stretch to it, but it doesn't have as much as some of the other performance knits. So this is really good for those athletic hoodies or joggers. I've seen a lot of people make leggings in this as well. So if you're one of those people who can go running when it's freezing cold out, I am not one of those people, then having leggings made out of this would be really nice and warm. I do recommend sizing up if that's something that you use it for, and just making sure again that you're taking your stretch percentage into account before you make something. So that's it for today. I really hope that seeing some of these fabrics helped some of you with visualizing maybe some different projects to make with each of these types of fabric, or just seeing how they lay maybe helped some of you with picturing exactly what kind of fabric you're ordering, because ordering online can be difficult sometimes, right? So be sure to hit subscribe, that way you can see when we put out new videos. And if there's anything that you guys want to see, feel free to comment below or send me an email, and I will link my email here too. And let us know what kind of videos you guys want to see. We'll see you next time.